One. What's up, everybody? Monroe Mann here, YouTube #1 live streamer, with a new edition of Rose Reads, where I read a book, self-help book generally, take notes on it, and then shares my perspective and summary of the book with you. So tonight we're starting a brand new edition of the book called The Subtle Art of Not Giving a by Mark Manson. What's up, Carly? #1. What's up, Sia? What's up, girls? My lovely ladies. Great to see you. You guys are going to get inspired today because we're going to be talking about this book about how to not care what other people think about you. First thing is I got to put on a sweater because I am feeling quite chilly. That's the first thing we're going to do. What's up, Jacob? I miss you, my friend. It's good to see you. Glad you're back. No, I'm excited. It's negative, 20 degrees in a lot of places in the U.S. For the next 10 days, 11 days here in Miami Beach, it's chilly. It's going down to the low 60s and high 50s. Again, not freezing, but cold enough that I can put on a sweater. Good morning, Sia. I'm glad you came to join me and all your other friends of YouTube here in the channel. All right, so we're going to get started. So this book is called The Subtle Art of Not Giving a Beep by Mark Manson. I'll eventually put these notes up into the YouTube store so you can download them. But for now, we're going to just get started with reading some of these tips here. So there's a guy named Bukowski, Charles Bukowski. I don't really know his story, but he's got a lot of quotations. I read a lot of people quote him in their self-help books. And anyway, what this guy Mark Manson is saying is that the real story of Bukowski's success was his comfort with himself as a failure. And I think that's very, very interesting, that it's important to be comfortable failing and be comfortable being a failure because it's a temporary state. It's a temporary state, guys. So remember that about failure. You're not a failure. You're just in a failed state currently. And you could turn that around very, 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 very quickly. Next, conventional life advice is fixating on what you lack. It lasers in on what you perceive your personal shortcomings and failures to already be, and then emphasize them for you. Think about that. Everything about life is like, what are you lacking? So you're saying, let's focus on what your negative aspects are. Let's focus on what your current failures are. Let's focus on where you need to improve. Those are all important things, but instead of thinking about that, why don't we try to focus on where do you excel? What do you do really well? What do you do better than other people? And do that. I'm on this new site, Upwork. I don't know if any of you have heard about it, but I'm realizing, what do I do better than anybody? I'm a good talker. I'm a good motivator. I'm a good speaker. I'm a good coach. I'm a good mentor. And I've been doing that here on YouTube for years. I'm making some money on it here as a professional YouTuber, but on Upwork, people are willing to pay me a lot of money to do that. And I booked my first client today. I have 3 more interviews tomorrow with various companies and individuals who may want to hire me. Why am I telling you this? It's not to brag. It's not to get you as a client. It's to remind you that I first asked the question, Monroe, what are you really good at? YouTube live streaming. I'm doing a great job at this. And I really do believe in a few years, I'll be making more than $5,000 a month from this. Right now, I'm making $300 to $600 a month. Not enough to live on, but it's enough to motivate me to keep going. And by the way, on that note, if any of you want to support my channel and get onto the super board, we're up to about $129 this month so far. Here are all the people who have donated, supported. You're welcome to do so as well. But why am I telling you the thing about Upwork? Is I asked myself, Monroe, what do you do better than anybody else? Talking, motivating, speaking, sharing your personality. Okay, what's the problem? The problem is I don't have enough people who want to hire me to do that until Upwork. I thought there's got to be some site where I can find clients. And I think I did. Not only that, but I'm getting legal clients on there as well. So anyway, what this guy's talking about here is stop fixating on what you lack and fixate instead on what are you super good at? What do you do really, really well? and that's how you find your pot of gold. Let me read some of these messages. And let's see, Tensai's here. Good to have you here, Tensai. Carly, your keyboard skills are terrible today. What's up, Sergey Clips? Giast, how you doing? Hey, bro. Somebody got out of prison. You need to write a book on success. I'm going to pin you to the wall of shame right now. You need to write, W-R-I-T-E. Before you write a book on success, I think you should learn how to spell the word right. It's not R-I-G-H-T, it's W-R-I-T-E. You're welcome. All right. Hey, Jacob, all good. You'll be able to give some support to the channel later. What's up, We Cook? You're cute too. All right, the next little bit from the book, The Subtle Art of Not Giving a Accept that the world is totally, by the way, I'm going to say messed up. I'm never going to use the F word, but he uses that word excessively in this book, and I kind of find it really annoying. So I'm not going to use it, but you'll know probably where he's actually saying that. He goes, accept that the world is totally messed up and that is all right. And I think that's an important lesson. Too many times we want to think that the world is fair, then the world is just. Overall, I think it is. But in certain instances, it may not be. And you may get the raw end of the deal. You may get treated terribly. You may not get paid what you're worth or what you deserve or this or that. The whole idea is accept that. Be grateful for that. And don't worry about it so much. If you constantly waste your time complaining about why the world is the way it is and why things are not fair, you're just wasting time that you could be using to find a solution, to figure it out. That's great. The world is unfair. Okay, how do you succeed anyway? Okay, it doesn't matter how hard you try. Sometimes you still don't get ahead. And sometimes someone who doesn't even try succeeds easily. Guess what? That's the way of the world. Get over it. How can you succeed anyway? I spent 18 years figuring out how to monetize this YouTube channel. Finally did. Some people monetize their channel in 6 months. I've met people who said, it took you 18 years? What the heck were you doing? Why did it take you so long? What's wrong with you? The world is unfair. I don't get it. I don't know why it took me that long either. But instead of me wallowing in, I figured it out. It took me 18 years, but I still figured it out. And that's what I want all of you to do is figure it out. Here's the next quotation, and I'll look at some more comments. All right, so I'm going to try to translate this without using any bad language. I feel like crap, but who gives a bleep? moving on. Basically, who cares if you feel like crap? Do you want to succeed? Get off your high horse, stop complaining, and do what needs to be done. Next, and these are all notes from the book, The Subtle Art of Not Giving a Beep by Mark Manson. The desire for more positive experience is itself a negative experience. And paradoxically, the acceptance of one's negative experience is itself a positive experience. In other words, your desire, your I want to succeed, so blah, 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 that can make you go psychologically bonkers so that it actually becomes a negative experience. On the flip side, when you have a negative experience, if you can learn to accept it, that itself becomes a positive experience. The whole idea is that there's a silver lining in everything. Sometimes I talk about this lake house up in Maine that my mom and I gave up, that we regret giving up, but various circumstances led us to believe that was the best decision. In retrospect, it maybe wasn't, but who cares? It's over. It's done with. We can't change it. More importantly, how can you use that negative experience and turn it into a positive one? That's the key. As long as you learn a lesson from every negative experience, so that A, you never make the mistake again, and B, you're able to guide other people, then it wasn't a mistake. Think about this. I'm able to share with you that miserable decision that my mom and I made, and it sucks, but it wasn't a bad decision because I'm able to share with you good advice. And maybe I had to make that bad decision in order to help the 13 of you avoid making a really bad decision in the future. So in some essence, the bad experience for me ends up being a good lesson for you guys. What's the lesson? Number one, before you make a big decision, do the pros and cons of proceeding and make a list of the pros and cons of not proceeding. Pros and con lists, there are two of them that you have to make for every big decision. What are the pros and cons of making it, and what are the pros and cons of not making it? Let's say you want to move to France. You don't do the pros and cons of moving to France by itself. You also have to do the pros and cons of staying in the United States, because you're going to be different lists completely. So that's one lesson. Really be careful when you're making decisions that you consider every possible permutation. But the bigger lesson is, realize that you're going to make mistakes in life. You're going to make bad decisions. And you're only going to realize it's a bad decision a year later, or 3 years later, or 5 years later, when you look back. But then again, then maybe 7, 10, or 15 years after that, you're going to realize, you know what? It actually wasn't a bad decision. I go back and forth. I vacillate with this house up in Maine. Sometimes I think it's the worst decision ever, but other days, like right now, I'm glad I had incredible heartache over making that bad financial decision, because I'm able to share that with you. And maybe you're going to make a better decision in the future. So before we continue, I'll look at some comments. Carly is struggling today. Let's see. Gabriel is here. Carly says, hold on, going to something with my boyfriend. Carly, you used to write in complete sentences. Now you're writing like a goofy teenager with RQ. I'm going to FT my BF. Seriously, you're a moderator. You can write in full sentences. Good Cat says, I heard someone took your super chat king away. That is true, Good Cat. Let me show you. Good Cat used to be, where was it? Good Cat was the super chat king for this month. Then it switched to I Am Athena for $10. There is a new Super Chat King, Jeff Hunter, $19.99. For those of you who don't know, the Super Chat King is the person who gives the biggest single Super Chat in the month. So far, we've had 3 Super Chat Kings. Mr. Goodcat started it off with 5. I Am Athena went up to $10. And then Jeff Hunter, $19.99. He is still the reigning champion Super Chat King. Thanks for remembering that. By the way, thanks for getting that started. For those of you who don't know, Mr. Goodcat was the clever fella who came up with that idea of doing the Super Chat King. So if any of you want to be Super Chat King, you got to do $20 or more, and you can be the new Super Chat King. Though I would be grateful even for 99 cents, because every time I do a live stream, if I can get one person to Super Chat, makes me feel proud, makes me feel like I did not work for free and that I'm really a professional YouTuber. Jesse says, can you bless us with a quick 360? Here you go. 360. Woo! Hope you enjoyed that. Gabriel says, good luck, man. Femi says 18 years and you're still only able to get 13 viewers. I think you're still figuring it out. Let me look, Femi, at your channel. 221 subscribers, and you joined 8 years ago. Wow, you became a YouTuber 8 years ago, and you only have 221 subscribers today? Femi, that's I guess you're still figuring it out too. Here's the truth. I'm always still figuring it out. I'm one of the best contract attorneys in this world, and I still can learn new things. I'm still figuring it out. I am YouTube's #1 live streamer, and I am still figuring it out. I am an incredible musician and singer. I am still figuring it out. And guess what? If you talk to Mr. Beast, he will tell you he's still figuring it out. And this is how I know, Femi, that you're not a YouTuber. Because anyone who's been a YouTuber for even 2 weeks knows that the algorithm changes constantly, which means every single week you are trying to figure it out. Sometimes I've had 450 people here on a live stream sometimes. Sometimes I've got 6 people on here. It depends on the algorithm. It depends on the day. It depends on the content. So how about you stop being critical? In fact, the name of the book is The Subtle Art of Not Giving a Beep. Well, guess what? I couldn't give a beep what you think about me. By the way, you have a silly name, Femi. What's up, Mako? CJ, PBG. Jacob says, how's Billy Bob? Billy Bob will make an appearance one of these days once again. Jacob says, someday I will donate you 500. I can't wait, Jacob. All right. Jacob says, I've been a YouTuber for 2 years and I'm still figuring it out. Everybody is still figuring it out as a YouTuber. 100%. All right, next quotation from the book. Alan Watts shares something called the backwards law. And this states that the more you pursue feeling better all the time, the less satisfied you become, as pursuing something only reinforces the fact that you lack it in the first place. That's pretty wild. Think about that. The more you pursue feeling better all the time, the less satisfied you become, as pursuing something only reinforces the fact that you lack it in the first place. A simple example, you cannot pursue happiness. Even though the framers of the Constitution said, in the Declaration of Independence, that they want to allow Americans to pursue happiness, in the pursuit of happiness. But if you can't physically actually try to pursue happiness. You can't, and as soon as you think of yourself, am I happy? You become less happy because you're now thinking about it. What's the name of that I forget that law in science, like Schrodinger's cat or something. As soon as you start observing something, it changes. So Nothing in science can be observed without the thing that you're observing in science being affected in some way. So when are you most happy? When you are not thinking about your happiness. As soon as you start thinking about your happiness, you start thinking, well, am I happy? Well, I guess I am, but what would make me really happy is if I had more money, if I this, I'm a little sick right now, I've got a cold, and all of a sudden your mood drops, even just so subtly. So don't try to pursue happiness. That's the lesson there. What do you pursue then, Monroe? If I don't pursue happiness, what do I do? Go after the things that you like to do. Go after the things that put you into a flow state. The more things you put into a flow state, the more times you are in a flow state, the happier you're going to be. How happy are you going to be? You're going to be so happy that you do not even realize that you are happy. When you are in flow, you are so concentrated on what you're doing that you don't even realize if you're happy or sad. And that is the perfect Zen state that you want to try to achieve. Next, Albert Camus. Albert Camus is a French philosopher and author. He wrote, quote, "You will never be happy if you continue to search for what happiness consists of. You'll never live if you're looking for the meaning of life." You will never live if you're looking for the meaning of life. That's a really good one. I think about all the time, what the heck is the meaning of life? Why am I here? What's the purpose of us being here on planet Earth? Why do good things happen to bad people? Why do bad things happen to good people? You can go crazy thinking about that. And the more you think about that existential, philosophical question, which has plagued everybody as far back as Plato and Aristotle and Socrates and before them. If you're really spending your time thinking about that, you're not spending your time living. So if you spend your whole time thinking about what's the purpose of life, then you can't actually be doing what life is meant to be. So that's a fascinating take on that. Next, ever notice that when you care less about something, you do better at it? There's an expression in English, so many people get it wrong. They say, I could care less, but that's wrong. The expression should be, I couldn't care less. And that's what he's talking about here. When you couldn't care less about something, you do better at it. When you're really stressed out, that's when you do poorly. So right now, somebody mentioned earlier that Femi person. Why do you only have 13 people here, 14 people here? And look, that's kind of weird. I only have 6 people on this live stream right now, 8 people. And this is the lowest I've had probably in about a month. Earlier this month, I had 420 people. So I am thinking, why do I have so many fewer people here? But now I'm thinking about it. So guess what? I'm probably not doing as great of a job as I could do when I'm not thinking about how well I am doing. I did 2 TEDx talks last year in 2024. And let me tell you, they were probably the 2 worst speeches I ever gave in my life for a multitude of reasons. One of which is I hate the format. Number 2, you had to memorize this 15-minute speech, which is just extraordinarily difficult and awkward. But my gosh, this thing's getting recorded. It's going to get put up on YouTube. There's a lot of pressure. I cared so much that I carried myself into a state of frenzy and anxiety. And I know I did not do as well as I could have done as if I could have just winged it and just kind of gone with the flow. So again, ever notice that when you couldn't care less about something, you do better at it? Next, everything worthwhile in life is won through surmounting the associated negative experience. Maybe you guys have heard the expression, if it were easy, everybody would do it. So YouTube live streaming. and becoming a professional YouTuber. Why doesn't everybody do it? Because it's not easy. How many people do you know who have monetized YouTube channels? How many people do you know who get money from those monetized YouTube channels? How many people do you know who actually make a full living from YouTube? For me, I don't know anybody who makes their full living from YouTube yet. I've got a bunch of pro YouTube friends, but 1 month they'll make 4,000, 1 month they'll make 1,000, or they'll make $40 every month. It really depends. I make $300 to $700 a month. And if it were basically, a lot of people get into it thinking they're going to make an incredible living immediately. But that's the case with everything. I just told you I joined Upwork. I joined Upwork for the first time about 6 years ago, and I gave up after I made about 10 proposals and I got no interviews and no jobs, and I thought, I'm not spending any more money on this site. This time around, I said, Monroe, you bet you are not going to give up making proposals on Upwork until you are making money from it. And I had my first interview yesterday. I booked my first client today, different person. The interview from yesterday, they're going to let me know tomorrow. I have 3 more interviews tomorrow. And I was doing research saying that making $5,000 a month from Upwork is extremely doable as long as you are disciplined, determined, persistent, and you just keep getting 5-star reviews from people. The research that I've done, actually, for those of you who are interested, the first client is the hardest to get and takes anywhere from 20 to 50 proposals. After you get the first client, getting 2, 3, 4, and 5 is about half as hard. They say once you get to 5 reviews on Upwork, getting from 5 to 20 is extremely easy. And then once you get to 20 5-star reviews, you start getting proposals from clients who actively are seeking you out and want to hire you. And apparently once you get to the point where you got 20 good reviews and they start coming to you, that's when you start moving on to where you can start to make 5,000 plus per month. I was looking at some of these people, and some of these people are in India. Like I'm hiring coders now on Upwork as well, because I have a company, break diving, and I need to hire somebody to help me do something that's a little bit more advanced that I can't do myself with Ruby on Rails. And I saw some of these people applying to my jobs. They've made in the last 5 years, some of them like more than $430,000, because on Upwork it tells you how much money some of these people make. Some guy in India over the last 5 years has made more than $400,000. Do you know how much $400,000 is in India? It's like you can live for an entire month, like your full expenses, rent, food, for like $300. So if he's making $400,000+, that's more than $100,000 a year, which means he is living like a king of kings, which makes me feel like very excited that I think I can make 5,000 plus through Upwork. And now suddenly my YouTube channel doesn't, for a while, for the last 7 months, I was really thinking that my channel was going to give me a full-time income very quickly. And it's turned out to be somewhere in the middle, where I'm making $300 to $700 a month. That's nothing to laugh at or sneer at. That's a lot of money. And I'm sure a lot of you would love to make $300 to $700 a month doing something that you love. And I love doing this. By the way, I will read all of your comments in a second. But if this Upwork thing can use all of my talents and skills and allow me to make 5,000 plus per month, guess what? I can go on vacations anytime I want. I can go live in France for 4 weeks. I can say to my mom, hey, Mom, come on, let's jump on a plane. Let's go to Portugal for a month. I can go to Portugal and I could still do all this Upwork stuff from there, that elusive dream of becoming a digital nomad. But I could still do YouTube from there too. And so then all of a sudden, wow, I can make my major full income from Upwork as a lawyer, as a career coach, as a financial planner. and then make a little extra money on the side by being a professional YouTuber. Sounds pretty cool as far as I have to say. So going back to why did I go on that little monologue there? What he was saying in the book, The Subtle Art of Not Giving a Fluba, is everything in life that is worthwhile doing is won through surmounting the associated negative experience. So, what are the two negative experiences that I just shared in that story? One is on Upwork, you've got to make an inordinate amount of proposals and hear nothing from 20 to 50 people before you get your first interview. And that is very painful to do. It is very painful to get your first interview and your first client on Upwork. Number two, with YouTube, how painful? I had to be a YouTuber for 18 years. And then now I have to suffer through spending massive amount of my time doing my public speaking here on YouTube and singing, making $300 to $700 a month. How long will it take before I can make $3,000 to $5,000 a month on YouTube? I don't know. It's going to be a long and painful, patient road. And I'm willing to do it. Look at this, 31 minutes on here and not one super chat, have made no money. How painful is that? Maybe somebody can remove some of that pain. I don't know. Maybe one of you can remove that pain. But not getting the money immediately, I'm willing to put up with the pain because I can see the pot of gold at the end of the rainbow. All right, let's see. Next quote, next bit of notes. Oh, now, pain is inevitable. If you're able to not care about the pain, you become unstoppable. Oh, that's a good one, guys. Pain is inevitable. We're going to get pain no matter what we do in life. And if you want to make money doing something that you really love to do, that pain is going to be inevitable because if you love to do it, then guess what? Other people love to do it too, which means there's going to be a fight. There's going to be a fight to get people to give you money to do what you love. But if you can accept that that pain is inevitable and learn to just not care about the pain and going, I get it. For me being a YouTube live streamer and trying to make $4,000 a month on here, it's going to be painful. It's going to be horrible. People are going to insult me. People are going to talk about my hairline. People are going to tell me that I'm boring. People are going to tell me that I'm a failure and I'm a loser. People are going to tell me stop begging for money. I've heard pretty much absolutely everything. Does it still hurt? Of course. Nobody wants to be criticized. But I've learned that it's inevitable on here. And I want to get to the point where I can say, I overcame it all. And I want you guys to be inspired by me and go, I remember that guy, Monroe Mann, back in 2025. And he would do a live stream, and after 33 minutes, not one person would super chat him. And then now, today, he gets one super chat every 30 seconds. It could happen. And I believe it will happen because I don't care about the pain, and therefore I become unstoppable. Unstoppable. Think about that. Every single time I do a live stream, I'm getting more and more subscribers. I'm getting more and more watch time. I'm getting more and more videos. Let's just look how many subscribers I got just now. Let's see this. Let's see what we got. So I'm switching. I'm going to look at the comments, guys. Don't ever feel like I'm forgetting about you. I will always catch up on the comments. I had 5,380 before I started this live stream. 5,389. I honestly think before the end of this live stream, I'll be at 5,400 subs, which means I did get paid. I got paid in the form of more subs, which translates to there are 9 people here who maybe I will convince to super chat me and support the channel later or become a member of the channel, youtube.com/Monroe Mann/join, Join. Let me read some comments. Da-ba-da-bum-bum. Terry wants me to go to sleep. Nope, not yet. JPK Anderson, good morning. With all due respect as a Swede, a neighbor in Norway, I can see that Elon Musk is no longer welcome, even in his home country. Well, Elon Musk is not from Sweden or Norway. Elon Musk is South African, of South African origin. And let me tell you, there are people in every single country who adore him and love him. And he's an American now, and Americans love Elon Musk. And I am so proud of him for stepping up and creating Department of Government Efficiency and getting rid of all of this waste. It is a beautiful thing, because this is something that Republicans and Democrats have been claiming they were going to do for years, which is reduce the size of government and make things better. You know why? We're talking today about the book by Mark Manson, The Subtle Art of Not Giving a Beep. Well, that's what Elon Musk and Donald Trump do. They espouse the principles in this book perfectly. They absolutely do not give a beep what any of you think. And that is why they are doing so well. They've got so much money. They have the ultimate amount of FU money, if you know what I'm talking about. FU money that's how I was able to quit my job as an immigration attorney a year ago. Because I saved up enough money, and I had money in savings and investments. I just did my taxes, and I still have to finish one more thing, but I'm preparing all my stuff. I'm looking up and go, my gosh, I've saved up a lot of money. I'm so proud of myself. I'm like, wow. And I'm like, wow, you've got that much money in that account, and you got money over there, and you got some money over here, and money over here. Now I'm using up that money right now. It's going down. That's why I'm asking for some help with this. Why I want to become a professional YouTuber with more super chats. That's why I'm on Upwork. I've got to make $4,000 a month to stop the bleed. But I've got a lot of FU money that was allowed me to say, later, people, you guys are a horrible organization, and I'm not working at your company anymore. So that's what Elon Musk and Donald Trump have, and that's why I trust them so much. They don't need to steal from the U.S. government. That's why Elon Musk and Donald Trump are working for free. Neither of them take a salary. Donald Trump gets paid nothing for being president of the United States. Elon Musk gets paid nothing for running Department of Government Efficiency. And all I can say as a Iraq war veteran, I salute both of them. JPK says, I have a life, so I can do without YouTube. It's fun to go into it sometimes, but I prefer to live life. That's first, JPK, that's very insulting to me. I have a life, and I'm still doing YouTube. And all the people who watch my live streams, they have lives. And guess what, JPK? You're on here watching my live stream, so you basically just said that you don't have a life. Random says, do you believe in God? I do. I'm a Christian. Absolutely. JPK says, I seem to be selfish and self-driven. Everybody is selfish and self-driven. The reason why you just wrote something here is that you are so selfish and self-driven that you felt the need to share something on the live chat. Everybody does things out of self-interest. There is no such thing as selfless behavior. You will never do something that hurts you. When someone volunteers their time, for example, I have a not-for-profit breakdiving, and I'm creating an agency account on breakdiving to give very low-cost coaching services through breakdiving for like $3, lowest amount, $3 an hour. Why? Would I work for $3 an hour? Makes me feel good. Makes me feel like I am sharing my amazing gifts with someone who can't afford my actual rates. It's not because I'm such a good person, it's because it makes me feel good. Why am I doing YouTube live here and I've made $0 super chat? It's fun. It's out of self-interest. I'm self-driven. And I love talking. I love inspiring people, and YouTube Live gives me an audience. 14 people are listening to me. I'll take it. I'm happy. I'm happy about it. It's fantastic. Jay Fizzle says Freemason. I get emails from the Freemasons. There's a Freemason group in Miami that keeps wanting me to join. Maybe I will. I don't know. I've been thinking about it. What's up, Stuart Walsh? How are you? Stuart, Rocco, the man from the mob. Now, this is not Rocco. This is Rocco's friend, Monroe Mann. Rocco did a live stream a couple of days ago. Hope you'll check him out. How you doing, Husky? Great to see you. Josh has a dare for me. Okay, good. Walal says, don't forget you're using your investments. I am. I never forget that. It's why I'm doing these live streams. It's why I gently encourage people to help support the channel with a super chat or by sharing gifts or becoming a member. It's why I'm on Upwork, hustling, getting clients on there. So, but at the same time, what's the point of investments and savings unless you use them? So as annoying as it is to see my savings and investments going down, I'm also glad that they're there because and I'm glad I'm able, my savings and investments are giving me the time to do YouTube and apply to jobs on Upwork. And I think this Upwork thing, is going to take off like a rocket. Mark, I could be wrong, and I've been wrong before, but I have a feeling 1 month from now, I'm going to be telling you that I'm making more money on Upwork than I was working as an immigration attorney making $80,000 a year. I'm really positive that it's going to turn around very well for me. And it's going to make YouTube just become something more fun. And I don't have any stress about it. And if I can make money from it, great. If not, it's not the end of the day. And remember, what did this quote say earlier? Which was, the less you care about something, the better you will do at it. For the last 6 months, I was kind of really thinking this was going to become my full-time job immediately. And so I was really pushing on it, making it. But all of a sudden, let's just say in a month from now, I am making $4,000 to $5,000 a month through Upwork. I don't need to be a professional on YouTube anymore. I don't need it to make money. Now it just becomes a cool thing to do. I won't care so much anymore. And as a result of not caring so much anymore, I'll probably be a lot more relaxed and maybe end up making even more money from it. It's going to be very interesting. We will see. We will see what happens. Husky's giving me lots of thumbs up. I appreciate that. Owen Ferguman says, what's up? Love the quotes. I love you, Owen Ferguman. Well, also this hard man, 18 years. It is, and think about this. It's still, even though I'm finally monetized, I mean, I'm still, what is $300 to $700 a month? In India, that I would be able to live like a king. In China, making $700 a month. When I lived in China, if I made $700 US a month, live like a king. But I live in South Beach in Florida, in Miami Beach. It's a little bit expensive. But we keep going. Keep going. I'm going to finish up these comments. We're going to keep reading, doing some of my notes from the book, The Subtle Art of Not Giving a Beep. Walal says, I liked Barack Obama. My only problem with Barack Obama is that he ruined this country. The decline of merit and excellence and intelligence started with Barack Obama, and that's when DEI really started. And Barack Obama was the start of the America Last movement, and his mission was to help everybody else but America. I am grateful that Donald Trump is now focusing on America first. Let's see. Walal says, I returned so much, I'm like, dang, where did my FU money go? That's the thing too. And your FU money can disappear quickly. It could take you an entire year to save up 2 months of expenses. And then guess what? In 2 months, that emergency fund is gone. That's why you have to really, really focus hard on creating a diligent savings attitude. Or anytime you get money, the first place it goes is to savings and investments. And then whatever's left over, You pay your bills, you get groceries, you pay your rent, you pay your mortgage. Do not pay your mortgage and rent and all that stuff first. No, 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 no. What's up, Stuart? I don't pretend to be Rocco. Rocco is his own man. I just give him airtime on my channel. What's up, AXC? Investing in a diet. Super chat some exercise into your routine. If you think I'm fat, that's a real problem. Let's see. Stewart says, support, you mean pay you money. People look after your own investments. Stop wasting your money. First of all, people can decide for themselves if they want to invest money where they want. Secondly, they are investing in this channel because, as I mentioned this, every time I get a super chat, it gives me encouragement to keep going. And like I said, I'm already up to I think it's more than $129 this month already. Let me see. Let's go to earn. How much we got? Ooh, look at that. $212 already. Let's change the super chat thing. $212 we've made so far on here. 212. And this is a good lesson for all of you. Don't listen to haters. Like this guy, Stuart over here, trying to hate on me. Look at all the people who have supported this channel this month. So we're up to 212. We're almost at the first goal of 300. And I'm thinking I think we might get to 450 this month. It's not donations, it's payment for services rendered. So Stuart, that's fine. Like you just said, people look after your own investments. Take your own advice. Shut up. Shut up and let people decide if they want to support my channel or any other channel on YouTube. So there are 60, how many people so far? 70 super chats I've gotten this month so far. 70. Let them make their own decision. If you don't want to super chat, Stuart, that's fine. But you don't have to criticize other people who support me and want to encourage me to keep doing live streams. So for you, zip it. Okay. Puckluck says, go Trump. I agree. Bro is yapping. That's right. Solomon Green says, rooting for you. I've never felt jealous in my heart. I see others and get inspired to achieve something of similar value someday. Solomon, I'm glad you are not green with envy. Everything I share is just to be inspiring to others. I say, I'm not bragging. I'm sharing the vibe. That's one of my favorite quotes I came up with. Don't brag. Share the vibe. And I think people get that on my channel. It's why they super chat. It's why they subscribe. It's why they click like. We got 16 likes. That's the silver medal on the YouTube live stream Olympics. When we get to 20 likes, we got the gold medal. So be sure to double tap that screen. Let's get to 20 likes. Gold medal. Let's see. Funny Insightful says, you aren't living like a king in India with 350. Prices have increased. Yeah, but you're still living pretty well. You're still living pretty well. I know some of my friends in India, and their salary per month is $200 a month, American, which means if you're getting $350, you're doing okay. You're doing okay. And A1 says, how many Trump coins do you have? I don't know how many. I bought a bunch. I don't even know how much it's gone up to, but I've made a profit off of buying the Trump coins, which is pretty cool. All right, so we're at the bottom of the messages. Let's look at some more notes from The Subtle Art of Not Giving a Beep by Mark Manson. Learn how to focus and prioritize your thoughts effectively. It's trite advice. We've all heard that before. But it's how you succeed in life. The people who don't succeed don't know how to focus, and they don't know how to prioritize their thoughts effectively. I think I'm pretty good at it. I know how to focus and prioritize my thoughts. I create to-do lists constantly. I budget my time daily. I'm able to juggle multiple projects. You can do the same thing. Just take the time. Here's a good little this might be helpful. Some of you, if you want, like get a date planner that has the date on there. It shows you what you're doing during the day, what the tasks are that you want. That's just one example. Figure out some way that works for you to help you manage your day effectively. Your day, your week. By the way, I have a book on Amazon, which you may love. It's called Successful New Year. I'll show you. Do I have a copy of it here that I could show you? Let me go to the back room and I'll show you the book Successful New Year, which I think you will. Here. So, right here. You can buy this on Amazon, Successful New Year. The 52-week inspirational planner that will change your life forever by me, Dr. Monroe Mann, PhD. And how it works is every single week, you can put it in, you can start wherever. It's got an intro. You put your last week's accomplishments. What does this mean? Your setbacks. How has your situation changed? What do you continue to do well? What are you going to do differently? There's a kick in the pants. There's a little motivational message I share each week. There's a workshop telling you what you need to do this week. Create your plan for the week. There's a quotation for the week. Here's a quotation. If you're willing to do for the next 6 months what most people will not do, you can have for the rest of your life what most people will never have. And then what do you do? What now? And there's one for every single week of the year. So that's one way you can focus your week, focus your day. Figure it out. Oh, no, where's my notes? Here we go. Focus and plan your day. Next, you can't be an important and life-changing presence for some people without also being a joke and an embarrassment to others. Think about that. This is a good one. You can't be an important and life-changing presence for some people without also being a joke and an embarrassment to others. I love that. Beautiful. Who is that? The person up above was criticizing me, criticizing people for super chatting me, and criticizing the people who did. Well, guess what? I'm a joke and embarrassment to that person. But I'm willing to be a joke and embarrassment to that bozo in order to be an important and life-changing presence for you guys, for the rest of you who love me and appreciate me. Think about Donald Trump and Elon Musk too. You can't be an important and life-changing presence for some people without also being a joke and an embarrassment to others. Donald Trump and Elon Musk are a joke and an embarrassment to many people. And that is precisely why he is an important and life-changing presence for other people such as me, who think Trump and Musk are the amazing tag team. And JD Vance is probably the best vice president I've ever seen in my life. He can hold his own, going around the world, speak at conferences. Kamala Harris can't speak at all. She could have a prepared speech and she will ruin it. JD Vance, wow, spectacular speaker. Next, no matter where you go, there's a 500-pound load of crap waiting for you. No matter where you go, there's a 500-pound load of crap just waiting for you. I think that's super funny, but it's true. No matter what you do, there's going to be problems. There are going to be things that are going to slow you down and be a pain in the butt. Nothing worth doing is easy. Even the best job is going to have its periods of boredom, frustration, and madness. Let's read some more comments. And Funny says, you have no idea. I'm an Indian living in the U.S. Those who make $200 can't even send their kids to school. I'm nobody, but just keeping a check on prices. Good luck to you. I appreciate that, Funny, but I have friends in India who they live on $250, $300, and they are living pretty well from what they tell me. So maybe they're lying to me, but I'm basing this on that. And if I look on there are websites that show the cost of living in different countries. $400 to $600 a month in India, from what I understand, is pretty good. Hi, what's up, Imam? How are you? Well, Al says, why are there negative people in the world? Because it's a fallen planet, and the devil is running loose. And without evil, goodness would mean nothing, because we would have nothing with which to compare it. It's really strange philosophically, and it still doesn't make sense. It doesn't make pain any easier to bear. But if we didn't have pain, we would not know what pleasure is. If we didn't have negativity, we wouldn't know what positivity is. By the way, we're still stuck at 16 likes. Can some of you please click like here? Double tap the screen. Let's get to 20 likes so I get all of us get the gold medal on the YouTube live stream Olympics. What was my PhD thesis? I did a grounded theory study on the decision-making processes of successful entertainers. And based on that, I created a theory of success. And in many ways, that's the basis for breakdiving, my not-for-profit personal growth community at breakdiving.io. And then Dr. Jonathan Rich and I created a quantitative test based on the qualitative to confirm that our theory actually made sense. We got published in the psychological journal called Psychological Research. And in fact, we're working on putting together a website through breakdiving specifically for that. And I thank you for reminding me. I need to write this down. So good for you. Thank you, A1 Steak. Let me write this down. Success test. So awesome. You get a gold star. And we got 17 likes. 3 more likes, and we've got the gold medal on the YouTube live stream Olympics. Double tap the screen, and you could make that happen for us. Next note from this book, The Subtle Art of Not Giving a Beep. The point isn't to get away from the crap. The point is to find the crap you enjoy dealing with. And you might think that's silly. Who likes dealing with crap? Just think about dog poop. If you have a dog, which dog poop is easy to pick up? The liquid sort or the firm sort? When I take my dog for a walk, I much prefer the firm sort. And that's easy. It's a pleasure to pick up that poop in a bag. And you just wrap it up, boom, and off you go and put it in the trash. If it's the liquid sort, that is not especially if it's on your floor. Which dog stuff do you prefer on your floor? Liquid or firm? And I know this is like, why is he talking about this? This is disgusting. It's important because what's the lesson from this? He says the point is not to get away from the crap in your life. The point is to find the crap in your life that you enjoy dealing with. And so I'm realizing one crap that I do not like dealing with is a stupid boss who doesn't respect me, underpays me, and treats me like crap. But what crap do I like dealing with? I'm fine dealing with spammers and critics on YouTube. I'm fine with doing a live stream for an hour and potentially not getting any super chats. I can put up with that crap. Is it crap? I think it is, because I think I deserve to get compensated for my services on here. But I'm willing to put up with the crap, with the stingy viewers. Which one of you? In order to get where I need to go. I'm willing to put up with the crap of applying to lots of jobs in Upwork before I get to the point where I'm making $5,000 a month. Why? Because the freedom of being able to work for yourself is very appealing. And I'm so happy I found Upwork because I kind of feel like it's the perfect thing for my personality and for who I am and where I am in my life and what I want to do. I don't want to be stuck at a desk at some person's job at office. I did that for a whole year last year. It was not fun. So find the crap that you're willing to put up with, and you'll be a lot happier in life. Next, rejections that were painful in the moment have actually worked out for the best. Think about that. I want you to think of a scenario in your life where you got rejected like crazy and you were heartbroken or you were miserable or whatever. And then think back to some time when you felt like that, and then today you recognize that it was probably for the best and it actually helped you. There was this one girl that I was madly in love with back in 2011. And it was like probably the biggest heartbreak of my life. I'm glad that it didn't work out because I realize now, knowing myself who I am, it would not have worked out. I wouldn't be where I am today if that had worked out with her. And that's what I talk about that when I talk about that situation with the lake house in Maine that we sold, painful now. Feels horrible, horrible. I have a feeling that in time, I'm going to be able to look back on it as something as it worked out for the best, and I'm grateful for the decision that I made. And I'm sure it'll be the same for you. Next, it's okay for things to suck sometimes. And that goes back to the idea where somebody was asking, why is there pain in the world? So that you'll be excited when there's no pain. Why do things stink sometimes? So that you'll be grateful when it doesn't stink. Why does our nose pick up bad smells and good smells? Why doesn't our nose just pick up good smells? Because the bad smells are sometimes there to save us and protect us. Sometimes, like, going back to the dog poop example that I was talking to before, why does it smell bad? Why didn't God make it smell like roses? Because we put our noses into roses. That rhymes. We put our noses into roses. We put our noses into roses. God doesn't want us to put our nose into a dog's poo-poo because there's excrement in there and it's bad for us and it's unhealthy. You put your roses in noses because the roses smell good. But that's also you got to be careful. Don't be deceived by your senses. Because maybe you'll put your rose in something that smells like a rose, and you end up losing your toes. Whoa! So if things stink for you sometimes, try to embrace it, or at least just accept it. Say, you know what? It's good for it to stink now because it's going to feel better later. For any of you who've been a member of my channel, subscriber for a long time, if you've been a viewer, you know that I'm struggling to kind of figure out what the heck I'm doing. Just because I'm not suffering financially in terms of not being able to pay my rent and stuff doesn't mean that I'm not suffering financially. Losing my investments every day because I'm using them to live off of and my savings. And it sucked. It's been terrible for the last year. No, who wants to just see their money disappear? None of us do. But it had to suck for a year in order for me to be able to realize that maybe this Upwork thing is exactly what the doctor ordered. And I don't think I would recognize that this Upwork thing is potentially my saving grace if I didn't feel this pain for the last 12 years of being unemployed and not having a huge deluge of clients. In the last 2 days, I've had more client interviews than I've had in like the last month and a half. It's amazing. And if Upwork just continues to send me clients, woo, I'm gonna be doing very, very well. Let's look at some comments. Walal says it's psychology. That's correct. Merchant weighed the food that you were picking up. That's good, Walal. Walal says, someone told me when another person's pain brings you pleasure, you are sick. And when another person's pleasure brings you pain, then you are a hater. Very interesting, Walal. Of course, if someone else's pain brings you pleasure, then there's something wrong with you. But as you say, success is the best revenge. Success is the best revenge. All of us have had people tell us that we're going to fail, we stink. I mean, all of the people who criticize me on here and say, blah, 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 blah. How great when all of a sudden one day Monroe's making $25,000 a month as a live streamer. Wow, pretty cool. Could it happen? Absolutely. Just got to keep pushing forward. Gives you pizza instead of a raise, says John Denmark. Well, all says, how many reviews do you have? I'll have my first review, if not tonight, then tomorrow, because I worked with the first client today. I submitted to get paid, and I should have the first review tomorrow, and then that's amazing because then it'll be 5 stars next to me, and that's going to help. Well, you know how many times I got rejected in I probably got rejected by about 4,000 girls so far because I ask any girl I like, I ask her out. That's the way that is. The nose rose. Admire the stank. That's right, Austin. Well, also says you went to Capella. Yeah, I got my PhD at Capella University. And no, you don't have to call me Dr. Monroe. I don't take it. Hey, we're at 18 likes. 2 more likes. And we've got the gold medal on the YouTube live stream Olympics. Walnuts of Pleasure says, Mark Manson, don't give me your Manson lamps. Tony to Richie in The Sopranos. Ah, you're funny. I love Walnuts of Pleasure has a lot of quotations. We got 20. We did it. Gold medal on the YouTube live stream Olympics, ladies and gentlemen. Next stop, 25 likes, palladium. Okay, the next little note. Suffering is inevitable. No matter what you do, life is comprised of failures, loss, regrets, and even death. And that's a horrible thing. Some days when I think about my mom's impending death, because it's going to happen one day, I am okay with it because I recognize that part of life is death. Other days, I can't even bear the thought of it, thinking like, what the heck am I going to do? How can I possibly live without my mom in this world? But suffering is inevitable. Yeah, and you're right. It's about Tennessee Freemason. Yeah, Buddhism. It is Buddhism. Buddhism is that life is suffering. Dukkha, as it's called, or something like that. Dukkha. And the only thing we can do is to accept the suffering. And when you start to realize, and again, where does the suffering come from, according to Buddhism, is our attachment to things. And you can look up Edward Bowlby and a lot of his studies on attachment theory. But the only reason we suffer in this life is because we have attachment to things. This is why Buddhist monks try to live a very stoic life, a very Spartan life, and have very little attachments to people or things, because then they're not going to be able to lose anything. And if you don't lose something, you can't have suffering because you're not missing that something. So what Mark Manson is reminding us here is that suffering is indeed inevitable. No matter what you do, life is comprised of failures, loss, regrets, and even death. Next, once you become comfortable with all the crap that life throws at you, you become invincible in a sort of low-level spiritual way. So just imagine yourself. You're completely naked and you're just walking and everyone is throwing crap at you, and it literally excrement, and it's throwing at you, it's attaching you, and you're just like, you know what? I don't care. Throw whatever the heck you want at me. Nothing can harm me. I don't care. Throw me as much. And I tell you this, the more I work as a YouTube live streamer, I almost feel like my coat of armor is getting stronger and stronger. When people first started criticizing my hair, my this, my that, dude, stop begging, this and that, it kind of bothered me. It took me a while to kind of just say, I don't care. I don't care. I don't care what any of you think of me. And that's good. It's good not to care what you guys think. I'm Athena. You may not. Hey, I'm removing that. You can only do that if you super chat. We have an agreement. You can only insult me with a super chat. So either stop with the insults or give me a super chat with an insult. I'll keep anyone else's insults, but I have a special arrangement with Athena. Sorry. You should know that. All right. Next, once you become comfortable. Oh, yeah. There you go. And here's another lesson. Beg long enough and someone will put money into your begging gin. Thank you. That's right. No hair, baby. No hair. Well, I do have hair, though. See? I got hair here. I got hair here. Here's another lesson for life. If you're a YouTube live streamer, here are 2 lessons. If you're a YouTube live streamer, just keep live streaming long enough and asking people for money. Somebody will eventually give you some. Number 1. And number 2, we all need an Athena in our lives. Because what's an Athena? An Athena is someone who's always there to give you money. No matter what happens, the Athena will give you money. So I'm hoping all of you can get an Athena in your life as well, just as I have in my life. It's good to have an Athena, and all I had to do is wait 72 minutes, and the Athena came along. Number 71. Athena. $2. No hair. Oh, by the way, Athena, you used to be, Mr. Goodcat was the super chat king. Then it was you at $10. But you have been dethroned by Jeff Hunter, 1999. Just saying, if you want to reclaim your crown, you've got 9 days or 8 days, 7 days before the end of the month. If that's of importance to you. But Jeff Hunter is the current king. What's up? Walal is laughing. Wally, go get a job for money. The thought of getting a job it makes me nauseous, Wally. So the answer is no. I'm going to keep asking people on YouTube to support me. By the way, Wally, yeah, that's it, Wally. I would really appreciate a super chat, particularly from you. If you gave me a super chat, I would feel like a real man. So you can make that happen. All right, next. He's talking about his book, The Subtle Art of Not Giving a Beep. This book will turn your pain into a tool, your trauma into power, and your problems into slightly better problems. This book will turn your pain into a tool, your trauma into power, and your problems into slightly better problems. I would also say the same thing. Subscribing to Monroe Mann's YouTube channel will turn your pain into a tool, your trauma into power, and your problems into slightly better problems. Oh, by the way, let's see how many new subs we got. Did we almost get to 4,000? Let me see. 4,400, 5,400. Well, we're at 5,391. 5,391. 9 away from 5,400. We are getting there. We are getting there. Okay. Wally, you're broke. You're 14. So how about this, Mr. 14-year-old? You have no idea about the world. You know nothing about what it takes to make money. You probably never had a job, or if you did, it was just a little, summer job or this or that. Yeah, exactly, Athena. The 14-year-old's giving me advice. It's a good lesson here. When people criticize you, especially on the internet, don't listen. Don't listen to them, because they probably, guess what, Wally? I have a job too, and it's called being a YouTuber. I've already made $212 this month. That's a part-time job. Might not be $1 million, but I have a part-time business through YouTube. And there is a correlation between how many times I live stream, how many times I mention Super Chat, and how many times I mention becoming a member, that people give me money. So thank you for your advice. Disregard it. I will take it and move it over here. Yeah, you're right, Walal. Yeah, he said he's broke, but he has a job. So if you have a job, I think it's time for you to give me the Super Chat for 99 cents. Come on. Do you get paid for your job? Well, guess what? You're my boss here. You should be paying me for my job. Your mom takes it for the bills? Uh-huh. So you're an indentured servant is what you are, Wally. Looks like I've got a better situation than you. See, when I work, I give some of my money to my mom. When you work, your mother takes the money without even your consent. Whew. Tough break, my friend. Tough break. And again, this is sort of a little bit of a indentured servant. This is a little bit of Buddhism that he's sharing here. Life itself is a form of suffering. The rich suffer because of their riches, the poor because of their poverty. People without a family suffer because they have no family. People with a family suffer because of their family. What's up, Eli Blakely? Yes, I remember you. Welcome back. Hope you're going to stick around. Give us a like. Come on, we need to get 2 more likes. There are at least 2 new people on here. Double tap the screen. When we get to 25 likes, we get the platinum medal on the YouTube live stream Olympics. You all think that you are suffering, that you have it worse than everybody else. You don't. The grass is always greener, people. When I was working at that job as an immigration attorney, all I was thinking of is, oh my gosh, my life would be so much better if I didn't have this job. For 1 year now, I've been not working. And every day I'm thinking, oh my gosh, my life would probably be better if I had a job. But then I found this Upwork thing and YouTube Live, and I'm realizing, I don't want a job. I want to be my own boss, and I'm excited. I love doing YouTube. I love helping clients one-on-one, and I'm able to do that through Upwork. Much better situation, and I'm telling you, I am virtually certain that I am going to be making more money from Upwork than I ever did at a job in a very short amount of time, and I'll be my own boss, marching to the tune of my own drum. Marching to the rhythm of my own drum. By the way, you know what's funny? I've written all these books. So some of you may know I've written 10 books. They're on Amazon and Barnes & Noble. They're really good. I should read my own books and underline them just like I'm a reader. And then I'll create Rose notes for my own books. That's not a bad idea. I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna do that. Clover, why did you say you're excited? What are you excited about? Tell me. Let's see. Yeah, Wally, That's pretty insulting there. You say something like that again, you're going to get timed out for 24 hours, then I'll block you from the thing. And just for that, yes, I will be reminding all of you, anyone who would like to support the channel, you may do so with a super chat or by buying gifts or becoming a member at youtube.com/Monroe Mann/join, JOIN. When you become a member, you get access to members only live videos, members only live streams, member first videos. You'll join a really cool group of members only folks. Clover says the book reviews. Oh, cool. Yeah. So Clover, since you joined, I'll go a little bit longer on this book review because I already finished page 1, but I'll do a little bit more. All right, I just turned the page here. We're going to the top. And the name of this book is The Subtle Art of Not Giving a Foo-wah-wah-wah. Okay, Buddhist philosophy, pain and loss are inevitable, and we should let go of trying to resist them. Pain and loss are inevitable. We should let go of trying to resist them. You can prepare for them, but you're going to have losses. You cannot avoid losses. Even insurance. The point of insurance, whatever type it is, life insurance, car insurance, health insurance, it doesn't prevent problems. It just makes the problems a little bit easier to deal with. That is the key. You can't avoid the death of your parents, but you can plan for the death of your parents and managing it a little bit better. Like, for example, I think the best way to plan for the death of parents is getting married and having kids. Because then you're building up your family and you have other people who are very close to you. And I am very much hoping that I get married and have kids before my mom dies. Because at least I will have other people who are who I am just as close to. Right now, it's just me and my mom. And it's like she's my partner in life and one of my best friends. I'd like to have some other ones to cushion that, but I cannot prevent my mom from dying. And the same thing with you. You can't prevent certain things in your life from happening, but you can try to plan to make it a little bit easier to manage. Next, happiness is not a solvable equation. Happiness is not a solvable equation. I like that too, because it kind of just reminds you, look, you cannot find happiness through a simple formula. You're not going to, it's not A plus B plus C equals happiness. As I mentioned earlier today, happiness is when you're living life and not thinking about happiness. Because as I mentioned, when you start to it's the Heisenberg uncertainty principle. I think that's what it is. As soon as you start investigating a scientific principle and observe something, it's now acting differently because it's being observed. So there is no way to observe something in its natural habitat. Because as soon as a cameraman goes in to observe it, it's like the butterfly effect. It is being impacted in ways that we do not know. Let me look at some comments. Let's see. You're asking people for first of all, you're on the wall of shame here because your grammar and spelling is terrible. It's YOU''RE. You are asking people for their, THEIR. If you keep making those mistakes, you're gonna get timed out. Because I can't stand it when I read that. So if you're going to insult me, at least insult me with proper grammar and spelling. That's the least you could do. That's the least that you can do. And yes, I'm asking people for their hard-earned money. You are absolutely correct. Because I am putting in hard-earned effort. And I am sharing very valuable advice and wisdom. helping people to smile, helping people to feel better about themselves. And if you don't want to share your money with me, that's fine. You should be grateful for the people like I Am Athena who are, because they are the producers of this content. They're the producers of this channel, and they are the ones who are allowing you to sit here and spew out insults to me at no charge. Because I Am Athena has to pay money in order to insult me. And as a result, you get to insult me for free. You should be thanking I Am Athena for giving money to me, rather than insulting me and my members and subscribers who support my channel. Clover says, when I get my taxes, I got you. Thank you, Clover. I appreciate that. Thank you so much. We're teaching Wally to spell. This is true. We're teaching him to spell and also teaching him how to be a nicer person and a nicer human being. I have to take care of my mom now, feed her and such. Good, Clover. I'm glad you're doing good things for your mom as well. Walal says it's me and my mom. So Walal, let's you and I both find a wife and get some kids. Lickety split. Happiness is something to be captured. Oh, cultured. Happiness is something to be cultured. But I also think that happiness is, you cannot chase happiness. You can chase the things that you love to do. And when you chase the things that you love to do in a responsible manner, you will end up being happy. And it's true, you can't pick and choose when to be happy. Some people want to be depressed on Monday, but happy on Friday. When I get out of the debt, I will invest in your channel. Thank you, Walal. I appreciate it. And I appreciate you reminding people that it's an investment. It's an investment in making sure this channel sticks around. It's an investment in, like, okay, when someone gives money to like PBS, Public Broadcasting Service Station, they call it a donation, but it's an investment in making sure that the PBS has enough funding to continue operating. And so that's all this is. The hard part, says We Cook, is finding someone to spend time with. I 100% agree. You know, I'm on this website, Bumble, and there's this girl that reached out to me and was speaking Chinese. She's from Colombia, but apparently she lived for 10 years in China. And she wrote to me, and very pretty girl, a Colombian, and she said in Chinese, it's like, hey, I'd really like to become your friend. I hope, I want to hang out with people with whom I can speak Chinese. And I know you lived in China and you speak Chinese. And, would you have a problem with us not being boyfriend, girlfriend, but just... And I was relieved, and I said, oh my gosh, that's fantastic. I would love to. And it's like, we can go up to the Chinese supermarket up in North Miami, and we could go to the Chinese restaurant together, and we could just speak Chinese during the whole time. And I'm excited about having a friend who's a girl, and it's not romantic, and we're just going to be friends. But I kind of made me think that I kind of want to change my dating profile to just be, I want to meet a friend. I have no interest, because it's so much less pressure. And I mean, who knows? Maybe I meet this girl and she turns out to be the love of my life, but it's the idea of going on a date, terrible. And if just knowing that we're going to hang out as friends, I don't have to buy her anything. She doesn't have to feel like I'm expecting anything. So this is, I think, my new strategy is every single date will never be a date. It's like saying, look, I'm looking, and I say, I'm looking for a friend. Beautiful. And honestly, what do I want? I'd like more friends in my life. I'd rather have more friends than these little tenuous romantic relationships, which are undependable and emotionally draining and emotionally frustrating. But a friend, hey, do you want to go to a movie? Awesome. And maybe this girl, I can go to a movie with her, and no romantic. And guess what? She pays for her own movie ticket. Sounds like I got a plan. Walal says, Bumble, you go on that app. Yeah, I got a lifetime membership. This was back in the day. I don't know if they still have a lifetime membership, but I paid $150 for a lifetime membership, so I don't have to pay basically anything. And every week I get 5 free super chats, a super likes, and this and that. So, yeah, and then you find out her birth name was Steve. This is good. This is why I'm going out and talking and meet her as a friend, just to find out. And you're right, Pip Maple. Good to see you. You can try to eliminate the bad as much as possible, which allows for more opportunities for happiness. That's true in general. And it's not so much about eliminating the bad, it's about eliminating the stress. Or actually, eliminating the bad stress. I talk about this sometimes. There are 3 types of stress. There is neutral stress, which is zero stress. Then there's eustress, EU, like euphoric stress, which is good stress that allows you to get things done. It puts positive pressure on you. And then there's distress, which is negative stress that stresses you out and makes you work less effectively. If you have zero stress, you don't do anything. If you have distress, you make poor decisions or don't do anything. When you have eustress, that's the perfect sweet spot and you get things done. Like right now, the breakdiving channel has 1,491 watch hours. I need 3,000 to get it monetized. And I've got about 6 months left before the 365 days changes. So I've got 6 months. That's eustress right now. Because I think if I do about 8 hours of watch time per day, I will get to 3,000 hours before the end of the year. But let's just say I've only got 1 month left and I need to get 1,500 hours of watch time. That eustress has now turned into distress. And that's a very big problem. Now, there's this thing called Parkinson's Law, where the amount of time it takes you to do something expands to how much time you have to complete the project. If I only have 1 month to get an extra 1,500 hours of watch time, guess what I'm going to do? Because Monroe's a superstar and he does what needs to be done. I will focus. I will stop streaming on my channel, this channel, and I'll start focusing completely on the breakdiving channel. But right now, I'm trying to do both at the same time because I don't have to deal with Parkinson's Law because I've still got 6 months left to monetize my channel. So there's a little tip. If you want to get something done more quickly, what do? You give yourself a very short deadline and push yourself. Well, also, sometimes you have to watch out for apps like that. Oh, it's terrible. I'd say because of that, the transgender movement now, there are about 1 out of 7 or 1 out of 10 girls are transgender. And it's so annoying. I report them pretty often. And I say fake profile because in my mind, it is a fake profile. It's not a woman. It's some guy dressing up as a man. He can do that if he wants, but he should list himself as a guy seeking men. I can't believe he's listing himself as a girl. It's like, especially for me when it says I like straight women. It doesn't say and gay men. It's bonkers. Bob says, bro, she's trying to reel you in. That's fine. I really don't care. I'm looking, if I have someone I can practice Chinese with, I'm getting what I want out of it. So I'm trying to reel her in. That's right. I'm just going to chill and enjoy time together. Clover says, that's me and my boyfriend. Johnny, best friend, buys me clothes and such. Very fun. He's a hairdresser. No, but that's not what I'm doing. I'm not going to buy her any clothing. I'm not going to, who goes out and buys his best friend clothing? No, that's a girlfriend or a boyfriend. I'm no sugar daddy. I will never be a sugar daddy. Let's see. Well, also, this is for me. Before I can think about being in a relationship, I feel like I need to get myself together with a better job. Yes and no. But the truth is, you're right. It's a lot. This is why I don't want to be with gold diggers too, those women. Because I know what you're talking about. This whole year, I've been kind of feeling funny. Also because I don't want to be in a relationship right now because that's just stress that I don't need. It's distress. You got a girlfriend? Monroe, why aren't you calling me? Monroe, why didn't you buy me roses on Valentine's Day? Monroe, you're spending all the time with your mom. Monroe, are you still doing your stupid YouTube lives? Aren't I more important to you than your YouTube lives? Oh my gosh, I would like strangle her. I would strangle somebody like if I had that as a girlfriend. And so I just don't even want to deal with that. So I have to find a very special person who completely supports and gels with who I am. And that's what all of you do too. Don't just get a girlfriend or boyfriend because you can. That's lame. Get a girlfriend or boyfriend who complements your life and accelerates your progress. The only girlfriend I want is someone who's going to make my YouTube channel more successful, who's going to help me make break diving more successful, who's going to help me take care of my mom better. There are so many women, like literally, I'll say, first of all, if I did live with my mom, it would not be an issue. I used to live with my mom up in New York. She and I just don't get along living together anymore. Can't do it anymore. And it's better for both of us that we're separate. But of course, I'd rather save money if I could live with my mom and put money towards, but not possible. But there are some girls when I say, oh yeah, so I take care of my mom. And they go, oh, do you live with your mom? And I'm like, F you. That's the first thing that you ask when I say, oh, rather, there's some who say, that's so wonderful that you're caring for your mom. Ah, a decent woman. Rather than, oh, you live with your mom? I'm like, first of all, it doesn't matter if I do. And secondly, no, I don't. And you shouldn't even be asking that. That's completely irrelevant. Or you ask that, you know what it is? Because they're digging. They're digging for gold. They're like, oh, this guy doesn't live on his own. Oh, this guy's a mama's boy. I was on X the other day and some guy goes, so you're a mama's boy? And I go, yeah, absolutely. I love my mom. And I was a daddy's boy too when my dad was alive. And I hope each of you treat your mom and your dad like you are a mama's boy and a daddy's boy, because they did a lot to help you. They deserve your assistance. What's up, DB teacher? Pit Maple, DB. Let's see. Trans and fake accounts trying to trick people to give them. Yeah, it's not good. Jeff Webster. I heard they filmed the move landing on my forehead. That was true. That is true. So I'm glad you recognize that. Not a lot of people recognize my forehead from those videos. Is there a Monroe woman as well? I always joke, even if I have a sex change operation, I will always be a man because my last name is Mann, Monroe Mann. What's up, Angel? Let's see. Hey, David, just a reminder, if you're a live streamer, you never go onto someone else's live stream and ask people to subscribe. If you notice, when I came onto your live stream, I did not tell anybody that I had a channel. My role on a live stream is to support the live streamer, not to recruit. We all have to get our fans the way that we do. So don't do that again. Bad day. And any moderators, if you ever see that, you can remove messages from people who are trying to get people to subscribe to their channels. Okay, next. Disappointment panda. So he talks about this thing called disappointment panda in the book. And the disappointment panda always tells the hard truth to you. So he says the disappointment panda would be the hero none of us would want, but all of us would need. He'd make our lives better despite making us feel worse. And It says we all need to have a disappointment panda in our lives. We all need someone who is going to tell the hard truth to us. But the key is we need someone to tell us the hard truth when we're in the right frame of mind to receive the truth. You can't sometimes you share you share excitement. Like, oh my gosh, I just, blah, 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 blah. And someone goes, yeah, but. And it's like, oh, did you really have to give me the yeah, but? Couldn't you have just given me yeah, I'm really excited. And then maybe 30 minutes later when I'm calmed down, give me the but. Be very careful when you're giving people criticism. Yeah, that's right, Jeff. You can only insult me if you give me a super chat. So the first one was free. The second one, you got to give. Athena knows it too. Athena tried to insult me before. I deleted the message and then gave me $2. You can insult me, but you got to give me $2. All right, well, I'll have a good night. Sleep well. Angel, good to have you here. Oh, okay, that's kind of funny, Jeff Webster, because you shared a little joke in there. All right, I'm going to share a couple more of these little notes that I took from the book, The Subtle Art of Not Giving a Boop. We are wired to become dissatisfied with whatever we have and satisfied by only what we do not have. This constant dissatisfaction has kept our species fighting and striving, building and conquering. What I noted, Monroe did, all my pain and dissatisfaction and discomfort is what is pushing me towards my destiny. All the little bits of pain in my life have brought me to where I am today. And I think it's what's made me such an empathetic speaker. It's what's made me such a motivational speaker, because I've been through such pain, disaster, failure, depression, more so than so many others. So I'm able to relate to people a lot better. I feel like every single failure that you've had, if you look at it correctly, it can become the springboard to you becoming a huge success story. Next, pain in all its forms is our body's most effective means of spurring action. Pain is what teaches us what to pay attention to when we're young or careless. So it's not always beneficial to avoid pain and seek pleasure. I don't know if you remember Jeremy Bentham. Jeremy Bentham was a philosopher back in England, back in, I think, the 1800s. And he came up with this pleasure-pain principle that the purpose of our life is to pursue pleasure and minimize pain. But the truth is, sometimes pain is what leads us to pleasure, and sometimes pleasure is what helps us to avoid pain. Wise words. And Wee Cook says, pain keeps us a reality check. Pain keeps us in check. It's 2:00 in India. That's great, baby. I will say, though, if you want to check out Debe's channel, she's a monetized YouTuber in India. I subscribe to her channel and I watch her live stream every once in a while. Have I seen the movie Quillis? I have not seen the movie Quillis. Don't know what that is. So you may salivate at the thought of a problem-free life, full of everlasting happiness and eternal compassion. But back here on earth, the problems never cease. So I'm gonna stop with there. Let me grab a pen so I can make a note of where I stopped. I just want you to realize you can never get rid of all of your problems. You're gonna have problems for the rest of your life. Nothing is gonna stop you from problems. I'm gonna keep on going, and even when I'm as big as Mr. Beast, and I've got 10,000 people here watching my live stream, there are still gonna be people in here criticizing me. There's still gonna be people talking about my forehead. Even if I go to Turkey and I get a hair transplant, and I got my forehead's down here, there will still be some people who go, yeah, you just had a hair transplant. We know how big your forehead really looks under there because we saw you back in 2025. It'll never, never end. Debe, I just told you, stop. Stop asking people to join your live streams. Not on my channel, not during my live stream. If you do it again, I'm going to time you out. Don't be doing that. And 1983 says you should live stream some video games. It requires a lot of technology, and I don't know how to do it, and I don't really care, and I don't want to. Maybe one day I'll figure it out. If they can figure out how I could do live streaming on YouTube Live with the vertical live stream, maybe I'll do it. So, all right, guys, I'm going to head off for now. Remember, the name of that book is, I can't remember the name of it. Oh, The Subtle Art of Not Giving a Foo. Good night, Debe. Good night, Athena. Good night, Clover. Maybe I'll check out that movie. Thank you for the recommendation. 1983, We Cook. Pip, Mabel, Angel, Walal, all you guys. Have a great night. Thanks for supporting the channel. Athena, thanks for making this a super chat live stream. I got to come up with a name for it. Like when I at least got when I got at least one super chat. Wonder what the name could that be? When there's or thank you for ensuring there was no super chat drought or something. But it makes me feel great when I got somebody who super chatted. So thank you very much. Clover says, I don't want to. I don't want to. This is so easy just doing this on my rocking chair here, rocking back and forth with just holding my cell phone. Now that's easy, Clover. All right, guys, have a great night. Pleasure. And catch you guys next time. Bye.